spicy tweet. I get headlines across Newsweek and the Washington Post if I'm, making fun of someone on the left. But when you have actual physical violence being committed by leftists against police officers, against other conservatives, it's completely downplayed, or even in a worse situation, which I think, as Tim is explaining here, is that it's almost justified in a way. It's almost supported in a way, in the sense that, hey, we don't support violence, but, you shouldn't have done that, but.
Right.
And it's victim blaming. In a lot of these cases, it's victim blaming. Say, Andy Ngo shouldn't have gone there without security. Andy Ngo shouldn't have, showed up to a group where he'd been critical of after, he should have known what was going to happen. That's victim blaming. That's textbook victim blaming.
Which is bizarre, because this is, precisely the thing that I think would be a progressive issue. You can't blame the victims, right? The victims are always right, is kind of the...
Right, exactly. So progressivism is built, the highest principle of progressivism is victimhood, right? And victim status. So victim status is sort of this inverted pyramid where instead of your accomplishments or your merits being how you're defined, instead they define people by their past oppressions or past victimization. And so that's why they sort of rack and stack to see who's become the most victimized, even if it's not you personally, but maybe your family, maybe your identity. And that's not to say that oppression and victimization hasn't happened, but the left really upholds that more than anything else. And so now we've got a group of people that have become victims of the left. So victims of violence, victims of assaults, victims of doxing. They've doxed Tucker Carlson time and time again. I was able to call attention to that, get Twitter to ban the accounts that were doing it. They've attacked Tucker's house. They've gone after his wife, just hiding in the cupboard, calling 911. And still, the media will play these games of saying, well, Antifa's got some bad members, just like any group, but the goals they stand for are altruistic and morally justified. And it's quite ridiculous to hear them try to say these things. So I actually welcome them when they do it, because it just kind of destroys their credibility, and it really lays naked and bare their absolute skewed bias in this situation. And so